何か過去に疑問があるのかい。どうやら少しはマシになってきたかな。でもそんな攻撃じゃ僕には通じない。
間違っても元セスタなんて呼ばないでよね。誰にも邪魔させないでね。君を解体してあげるからさ。
トルメンタで
ディエンテスでキムロン。
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is your boy the Death Smasher, and welcome back to another Bleach Brave Souls video. And today we are back again with another Who Is Better video. And today we are going to be comparing the brand new Canfiron World zombified Luppi to the man that started the Mind No Affiliation killers, being Tsukishima. And we're going to be comparing these two units because they're both melee and they both have no affiliation killer. The only big difference is that Luppi is an Espada, while Tsukishima is a human. And they all have their own differences. Now, let's just go and take a look at their stats and skills first of all, just to show you guys how Tsukishima has aged towards Luppi. But anyways, starting off, he is a normal human. Already a great affiliation because he is immune to every single enemy that has killer in Inheritance Zone and Droplet Zone, because as of this recording date, we still do not have an IZ or a Droplet Zone where enemies have human killers. So on that regard, he is a perfectly safe character to bring into raids. Now that being said, his soul trait is pretty shit because it's a damage reduction link. Now that being said, when he first came out, if you didn't have Kusaka, he actually worked really well as a damage reduction link for Yhwach, and even more if you had the likes of Jushiro and Grimmjow. But now that we have these Senkaimon and Zangetsu, it's a throwaway soul trait, and you're not even going to use him, because I mean, like, come on, you can beat Warrior's Path and basically get yourself a free damage reduction link that can easily surpass Tsukishima in terms of being a link. And yeah, he's got no affiliation killer like I said before. But anyways, going into his stats, he's got 1053 stamina, which is good, 641 attack, defense at 361, focus at 334, and an SP of 757. Now, back then when he first came out, he had a really good SP number, considering he had the highest SP for a mind unit that had Frenzy, not counting Yhwach from the moment of his release. But now we've got better, so yeah. Anyways, looking at his attacks and his skills, already his attacks has Confusion, which isn't exactly the best status element we can actually use in the game. With Shinji, it at least worked because he has the 40% damage to enemies that are confused. But Tsukishima did not get that skill at the time, so it's kind of a throwaway status element. He basically acts as if it's a character with no status element, in my overall opinion. But that being said, he's got a Bruiser of 20%, he's got Devastation at 40%, he's got Confusion immunity, which is a pretty bad status element immunity, because I would have taken the likes of Burn or Poison to completely make up for it, but it is what it is. He's got Frenzy, he's got Debilitator, and he's got Sprinter as skills. So, yeah, stats are pretty good. Soul trait and attacks, not really, but that's just how this character is. We don't know. We need to take a look at his gameplay once we get into it. But anyways, taking a look at Luppi, he has vastly superior stats, minus the defense where it's slightly lower, but everything else, it's on the high-end side. Now that being said, this unit is an Arrancar/Espada unit, so there are going to be a couple of Inheritance Zones and Droplet Zones where this unit is going to be affected by killer, but not that many compared to the likes of Captain and Hollow killers. So he's also pretty good on that note. But anyways, he's got 1088 stamina, 641 attack, defense at 356, focus at 362, and an SP of 794. Again, all on the high-end side, and they are vastly better than Tsukishima minus the defense stat. No affiliation killer, and this time he has a better soul trait, being strong attack recharge minus 12%. So you can at least stack up the cooldowns up to 54% and be able to spam your strong attacks just fine. And on that note, you can even give him a Senkaizen and still have a good number of cooldowns on your side. But anyways, Luppi already has a much better status ailment. He's got weakening on all of his attacks. He's got a bruiser of 20%, so of course that is to be expected. A berserker of 20%, so he's going to be doing more damage compared to Tsukishima. He's got a devastation at 40%. He's got fire immunity, a much better status ailment immunity. He's got havoc at 20%, so he is going to have way more range compared to Tsukishima. He's got frenzy, and he's got debilitator. And that's basically the stats and skills in a nutshell, so pretty much, so far so good. Luppi has the edge in terms of stats and skills. And now, let me just go ahead and show you guys how I built the characters. And let me tell you this, both characters have the same accessories and links, being a bait, pill, and attention tie, all with 30% SP, so easily 120%, with a triple 14% recharge links. So he's gonna have 54% cooldown right off the bat with 10-10-10 link slots. Tsukishima, he has the same exact build as well, being a tension tie, bait, and pill, all with 30% SP and triple 14% recharge links. Now unfortunately, because he lacks the cooldown reduction on his soul trait, he will only get it up to 42%, and he doesn't have any sort of berserker backing him up, so this is basically the best you're gonna get. And we still to this day do not have a character that gives out both strong attack recharge and strong attack damage for Mind. Maybe we'll get him in the coming resurrections, I hope, but who knows. Anyways, now that we've seen how the characters are and how I built them up, it is time to go ahead and hit up a 5-star raid. So I will see you guys in a good minute. Alright, so here we are in a 5-star raid. Now, before we begin, I do want to point out that my opinion on Luppi has actually changed a lot from when I first showcased him, and I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit harsh on his kit, mainly because his first essay is not the best, but now I'm gonna keep this comparison as unbiased as possible and basically give you guys my overall verdict between both of these characters. Just want to let you guys know on that, and now we can basically go ahead and begin. So before we go ahead and attack the enemies and see how much damage they each do, it is time to go ahead and compare the kits first of all. So Tsukishima, starting off with this nat string, it's pretty shit. Like, he doesn't have long reach, so hypothetically he is supposed to have 375 radius, but the radius built on him standardly is not that great, to the point that you need to get really close to be able to attack. Like, hold on, I'll just go ahead and show you guys. It's pretty mediocre. Okay. Well, I mean, not as mediocre as I thought, but you still need to get really close considering his nat string is really freaking weird. Now, I do think the animation is pretty good on his nat string, but the reach itself, it's very lackluster. Now, Luppi, he doesn't have long reach too. However, I will say that he does have a much better nat string, even though I still do think that his nat string is pretty garbage considering he does lack the reach in his normal attacks. I'd say it's more or less around the same as Canfield Noitora, if not slightly less, but at the very least, he is still able to hit a bit from the distance, only by a small bit. And that is basically their normal attacks in a nutshell, and I do think that Luppi has the better normal attack damage string. And holy shit, can I not fucking die, please? Am I really gonna I swear I had to get fucked by RNG, but anyways, that's the normal attack damage string. Now, despite the fact that I died, I still stand by that Luppi has the better normal attack damage string, despite being lackluster as well. But anyways, now that we've taken a look at both of their characters' normal attack damage string, it is time to go ahead and compare the strong attacks. Now, Tsukishima's first strong attack is a lunge. Melee collision, 120% mag. Already, that's pretty good. Now, Luppi, he's got a range collision type of strong attack. It's 18% mag, so the unfortunate thing about his first strong attack is that you need to get up close to the enemy, activate it, and that's it. That is your only hope of being able to kill the enemies. He's gonna have a bit of a hard time trying to kill off the mobs with the first strong attack. However, I will say this. Luppi's strong attack, it takes about 4 seconds to recharge, while Tsukishima, on the other hand, takes about 5 seconds. Now, you guys see how I said about the fact that he lacks cooldowns, Luppi's gonna have the advantage over it. Just want to point that out. And yeah. Now, as for their second strong attack, starting off with Tsukishima, it's an AoE type of attack. It has some good range, as you guys can see right there, and it is pretty good for being able to take out the mobs that are in front of him. And Luppi's second strong attack is also an AoE attack. It's based off of Machine Society Toshiro's second strong attack, but has a bit more range, and you're basically guaranteed to get enemies that are in front of you just fine without having to miss. That being said, the mags are slightly reduced, so it basically starts off from 20% and then gradually goes up to 100%. But it's still good enough because he also has the Berserker as a skill, meaning that he is still going to be able to kill off the mobs just fine. And if you guys think about it, this is basically Kokuto's third strong attack implemented as a second strong attack. And again, I want to point out, Tsukishima has the disadvantage with the cooldowns, 10 seconds to recharge, while Luppi, it only takes him about 8 seconds. And now their third strong attacks, Tsukishima has a standard 1000 radius strong attack. That's already pretty good. Luppi, because he has Havoc, 1200. And as you guys saw right here, for Luppi, it takes about 11 seconds to recharge his third strong attack. Now, as for Tsukishima, hold on, because I didn't really notice the number it takes for him to recharge. It takes him about 14 seconds. So, yeah, with Tsukishima, you're going to have to wait a bit longer in order to recharge the strong attacks, which isn't exactly cool, if I'm being honest here. But anyways, that's their kits in a nutshell. Now, let's just go and do the damage testing. Now, that being said, okay, so Luppi did around 1400 to 1600 constantly. Again, it's a range collisions type of strong attack. It's not exactly the best. But again, if you get up close, well, maybe without dying, you can take out some of the mobs. But the damage is pretty inconsistent. While with Tsukishima, he's going to hit very consistently with his first strong attack. So I'm going to have to give Tsukishima the win for when it comes to the first strong attack. He's doing around 4,400 to 4,500 damage. Now the second strong attack, Luppi did around 3,400. Now again, the mags are slightly reduced at the start and then gradually goes up, but it's still enough to kill off the mobs, as you guys can see right here, just fine. Tsukishima's second strong attack, around 3,746. Now that being said, it still is enough to take out the enemies. However, he does lack a bit of range compared to Luppi's. And I mean a good bit of range. Like, let's just go ahead and activate it again. Okay, maybe that was the terrible example to activate it right here. But let's just go ahead and activate it again in front of these mobs. Again, way more range compared to what we saw with Tsukishima. Anyways, let's just go ahead and take a look at their third strong attacks. Around 3,200 with Tsukishima's third. And with Luppi, of course, he's going to have the advantage. He's got the Havoc and the Berserker. Around 3,600 damage. But now that I think about it, I kind of didn't really take a clear look at that. But, yeah, I'm going to be real here. I was very biased towards Luppi. But now that I have him, played a bit of him, I kind of misjudged him. Okay, and there we go. We did around 3,800 with Luppi. So, overall, despite the fact that Luppi has a worse first strong attack compared to Tsukishima, he still has the better kit overall. Plus, he even has Weakening Havoc, making this unit an overall better character compared to the Mine Tsukishima. Now, don't get me wrong, Mine Tsukishima actually aged well as a character for the kit he has, but the problem mainly relies of the fact that he's got damage reduction, he's got a bad status ailment in general, and literally that's it. He also lacks some cooldowns, he doesn't have Havoc, he doesn't have the Berserker, while Luppi basically fixes most of that. Now, do I think he's actually the best no affiliation killer for Mine? No, that actually goes to Spirit Society Ringiku as the overall best no affiliation killer, but Luppi is still a pretty good one. Now, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Now, that being said, I do have another Who Is Better video coming up soon. It's a bit of a surprise, so I'm not going to spoil shit, but do look forward to it. That's all I'm going to say. This has been your boy, the Death Smasher, and I am signing out. Peace out, lads.